What up, House of Cards? It's Ace. And I just want, first of all, I don't know if y'all can hear that thunder out there. Bruh, this weather be so weird over here. Like, bruh, it was just sunny a second ago. Now it's starting to thunder and rain and all that, but that's besides the point. I just want to come on here to speak just, on some updates on the channel, myself, and all of that stuff. First of all, how y'all doing? Like, before I talk about myself, let me know how y'all are doing first. Cause I need to do a better job at that. I need to do. I want to check on. I want to be able to check on y'all first. But all of that being said, let's talk. So first things first, just going based off of this past week, like you seen that the streams ain't been that active and all of that stuff, and for a couple reasons. But say both in and out of the game itself. But say y'all already know. I mean, of course y'all know. Y'all, I mainly met y'all through Marvel Rivals. That's mainly what I've been playing. But first things first, just to talk about the whole Marvel Rivals thing in game. Dog, I just can't seem to find myself. Not necessarily. I'm not enjoying the game itself. It's just more so just how the game is ran, if that makes sense. The biggest example, and I'm pretty sure y'all know this, the amount of times I just get com banned randomly for no reason. And I'm not gonna say all of it is completely no reason, but at least a cool 75% of me getting com banned would be for nothing. And but I don't know if y'all remember the most recent stream I did, which was this past Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Dog, like I'm not gonna say I lost my complete morale like altogether, but it's definitely very discouraging trying to grow your community in a game that consistently is hindering that, and most of it ain't even your fault. Now, I'm not saying all of this to say I'm never going to play Rivals again. Absolutely not. I still think it's a very enjoyable game, and especially with this new way of, gaming, with the perks, because let's be honest, they're perks instead of team ups. Like with the perks and all of that stuff. And there's still a lot of stuff that I've yet to discover, especially considering that I decided to take this little mini break, maybe like a week. The season started like 2 weeks ago, and there's still stuff that I've yet to try, yet to play, yet to be discovered, and all of that stuff. And like I said, I still really do enjoy the game. And I've met some very amazing people, y'all, through the game. And I still plan on growing the community more with said game. Now, with that being said, there's another game that I'm definitely looking to play once it drops. It's Marvel Tokon. I've been, speaking on it for the longest time, on stream. I'm gonna let y'all know when I first got into this. About to say, for those who knew, like, been at the beginning, like, I'm talking about when I first really, got into it. Well, not really got into it, but first started getting into streaming back in like 2023. I would play Mortal Kombat. Let's say Mortal Kombat 11 to be specific. That's what was out at the time. I would play a little bit of Mortal Kombat 1 around the time it first came out. But otherwise, fighting games were my games for real, for real. And then, after that, I played Fortnite and all of that stuff. And that's when I transitioned into Marvel Rivals. But fighting games are my type of games. So, once that game drops, if I'm not mistaken, Tokon drops August 6th. So at the time I'm recording this, it's the 19th of July. So about 2 weeks from now, I will be playing more, I'll be playing Marvel Tokon and all of that stuff. I'm very excited to, play it. And in addition to that, I've kind of been holding off on reacting to those videos as well, because I want to make maybe like 1, 2, or 3 videos of me reacting to all the trailers that they got like all in one, which is what you'll see in the very near future, more than likely sometime this week. My reaction to, the stuff. I've seen some stuff like just scrolling on like on Instagram and stuff, but I haven't sat down and actually had time to like do a reaction to the stuff that'll be coming out of Marvel Talk On. So expect that in the near future. What else? Now, what y'all are been very much speculating. Well, not speculating, but talked about the 500 special. First of all, I just want to again say thank y'all for getting me to 500 subs. I guarantee you, again, it's the first of many milestones. It's a small milestone, but a milestone nonetheless. I guarantee you, if you would have spoken to me at the beginning of when I really started getting this stuff serious, which I believe at the time I was only at like 100, like the high hundreds in subscribers, like close to getting to 200. If you spoke to me at that time, I'd be like, dang, that boy's working for real. Like, I'm gonna say, but again, like I said, it's a blessing to be even, to have people that would rock and stick around with me to even get to that point. So I just want to say thank y'all for that. Now, regarding the 500 special itself, I know it's been a hot minute since we hit 500 and y'all are waiting on the special. Let me just be honest with y'all. I'm working on it, but in order for me to do what I really want to do, I hit up this one content creator. His name is Postal VA. Shout out to him, bro. Like, if I know he does TikTok, he does YouTube, he's on Twitch, he's on Instagram. Again, he's a really really talented content creator. He does impressions, and as y'all know, my 500 sub special is going to be basically me revamping and reviving my Road to Lord videos, which the last one that I did, if I'm not mistaken, was my Gambit one, which is like almost 7 months ago. And I've gotten a whole bunch of Lords since then, but I wanted to revamp my Road to Lord videos with Deadpool because, again, if y'all don't know, when my very first my very first YouTube video, you can scroll all the way back, like looking at the videos and watch my very first, well, I guess technically it'd be my second, but my very first like video on like the vision that I wanted to make my videos on was a Fortnite video featuring Deadpool as the skin, basically, which again you'll see in the 500 special, but I'm also discussing to you right now. So what does all of this have to do with each other? I'm glad you asked. So, as being able to collab with certain content creators, you want to be able to do stuff right. And me personally, like, I'm a man of my word. I want to be able to like network. I want to be able to expand my circle of content creators that I can be in, to be able to like work with them in the future, further elevate and all of that good stuff. But in this specific instance, what we are working with, it is a customer to provider. I guess that's the right word. I don't know if that's the right word, but again, I'm paying for the services of him voice acting, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just letting you know I personally don't got it right now, unfortunately. As many times as I try to save in order to get it, something is coming up, which is unfortunate. But life's, so you got to do what you got to do, which again in turn is putting off the 500 special. I still plan wholeheartedly to get this out to y'all, because if y'all seen any of my previous, Road to Lords videos, those, I kid you not, are some of my favorite videos to make. Like, they're simple, and getting to Lord is a relatively simple concept, but I like being able to amplify that concept of getting from agent to Lord. And even though like that's not really much of a feat now, because we got champion now, Lord is still, it's kind of like the half. I wouldn't even really call it the half one, because you get Lord at like level 20 and then champions level 50. But like that's still a solid, it's like a solid benchmark. It's kind of like when you get 100,000 subs on YouTube and you get the silver play button, and then you get 1 million subs on YouTube and you get the, golden play button. But I say that's still a benchmark, but then you also got, an even bigger benchmark. But all of that is to say, I still planning on making a whole bunch of Road to Lord videos. As y'all know, I have a whole bunch of Lords. I only have videos on like 6 of them, I think. Yeah, let me think. I got one on Black Widow, Emma Frost, Penny. Who was number 4? Dang, I forgot number 4. But I know I also have Captain America. He's number 5, and then Gambit is number 6. Oh, Black Panther was number 4. That's right. But yeah, I plan on reviving this series, Road to Lord, when I eventually do get to a champion, which is probably going to be a long time. I'm going to let y'all know, just a little insider. The plan I have for that, I'm going to call it Champion's Throne. That's just me throwing an idea out there. Champion's Throne. Let's just say, because currently right now who I have highest is Deadpool. So ironically enough, I'm talking about a Road to Lord video with Deadpool, and I'm talking about, Deadpool may be the first one to get the champion. But anyway, Champion's Throne, episode 1, Deadpool. That's what I'm thinking in terms of champion. Basically, again, a revamp of the Road to Lord videos, but you're already very proficient with the character, and you're showing what you've gained in terms of getting the champion. But again, going back to the topic, again, like I said, shout out to Postal VA. And I don't know if you will watch this video, but if you do, man, I don't want to do wrong by you, bro. Like, I understand how it feels to work with, somebody outside of your own, and you want to make sure that they don't do wrong by you, which is why I don't want to do wrong by you in terms of making sure you need to get what you need to get in order to make sure you're successful as well. And just going again, talking to my audience again, the House of Cards. I'm talking to y'all now, House of Cards. I don't want to just like half do this video just to get it out for y'all because I've been speaking about it for the longest time. Like, I want to make sure when I get this video out to y'all, I want to look back at it and be like, damn, I really did that shit. Like, instead of having these ideas in my mind being like, dang, I wish I didn't rush it so I can still, put forth these ideas that I have in my head. Now, again, because I love y'all, I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes of the thumbnail that I have. The thumbnail is complete. Thumbnail is kind of one of the first things, or not necessarily the first, but it's the quickest thing that I can complete in terms of, these videos per se. So I've got the thumbnail for you. I'm going to show it on this side right here. I'm going to say, I know it's clean, ain't it? It's nice, ain't it? Well, that thumbnail kind of clean, ain't it? I'm telling you. I'm about to say, what? I'm telling you, bro, this video that I have in mind, it's going to be great. It's going to be phenomenal, y'all. Again, I hope y'all love it too. Now, one more thing I just want to speak about, and this is just like outside of the game itself, just, me personally, it's just what I've been going through. As I spoke about in the Discord, this week has kind of just been a little bit, it's been mentally taxing to say the least. And I'll give you a little bit of insight about what's been going on. So to give y'all a timeline, this all started at the beginning of this month around, 4th of July time. So just to give a little insight about what's been going on, I met somebody who I thought would be, I could see something with this person. So we're communicating and all of that stuff. We're talking, we make very great conversation. She's a very excellent person nonetheless. But I'll say in this sense, I allowed her presence to distract me on my goals. And what do I mean by that? I'm so glad you asked. I'm going to be honest with you. Be 100% honest with you. I'm not necessarily the type of person who puts themselves out there when it comes to like relationship wise. Mainly because I just grew up putting myself out there, but just been getting, shot in the foot once I do so. Because of that, I just kind of became reserved in that sense. So, somebody must say they reached out to me and, we talked for, cool period of time and all of that stuff. And this is just something that I kind of learned a little bit later on because I was raised in a way where me putting myself out there ultimately caused me to be forced back into the box. When people come to me showing interest, I hold on to that kind of hard. But so like y'all get what I'm saying? Like I kind of hold on to that. And that in turn kind of causes me, the best for lack of better words, to have attachment issues. I'm just keeping it a buck. Like I'm just being honest. So with all of that being said, long story short, of course, it ended up didn't work. It ended up not working out, and again, I just kind of had to like sit with myself and just like reflect. Sometimes, like the best way I can put it, and forgive me if I'm trying to sound philosophical, but it don't really come out the way I want to. Like this is just me just speaking to the camera at this point, speaking to y'all, the House of Cards, but say because I love y'all. Not yet. I trust my feelings with you. But the best way I can put it is like sometimes you gotta get hurt in order to understand the lesson. You feel me? And it was just one of them cases where, again, like I said, I had to go through some stuff in order to learn from it and grow from it. And the good thing about it is, I definitely do feel like I've grown from that specific situation. Like, did it suck? Absolutely. It sucked bad. Like it got to the point where, like I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like I was over here just like watching YouTube videos. Like I was watching I'm about to say I don't know. I mean y'all know who Dash EXP is, bro. Like I was watching like his old Super Mario Maker videos, bro, because like those always made me laugh. But like it was one of those things where, cause me personally, I'm the type of person to like laugh, to try to like I laugh through a lot of stuff, but like even the laughing felt forced. Like I was trying to go ahead and get myself to be better, and in turn like it's like even the laughing didn't feel real at a sense, like I don't know if y'all ever been in a situation where y'all y'all went through something and then you're trying to just like laugh it off, but like even the laughing didn't really make it feel better. Like it was just like a such overwhelming feeling, just like of damn dog, like this really doesn't happen. Like it felt good for a second, but just like damn, it just went away just that quick. But again, like I said, I unfortunately just kind of like let that feeling distract me from my goals, which is being able to make this community as generationally impactful as I possibly can. Like I said, I want the House of Cards to go on, past just this generation. Like I want to be like, excuse me, I want to be like, the YouTubers, Belize, Corey Kenshin, Dashi, like I mentioned before, like their impact in terms of videos is multi-generational. Corey Kenshin, for example, I've been watching his videos since I was a kid. He's been doing this for pretty much for almost the whole entire existence of YouTube. But like, again, just to let y'all know, I'm 22, turning 23 in exactly a month from now. It's July 19th when I'm recording this. I'll be turning 23 on August 19th. Just a little heads up. But anyway, um, like I said, I've been watching, Corey Kenshin's video since I was a kid, bruh. And if y'all don't know, like I work with the next generation. And one of them, it's funny that I mentioned in Corey Kenshin, like one of them thought that, I had my hair like this one time. It was actually a little bit like I just got out the shower not too long ago, so it's kind of like in shrinkage right now. But like I had my pick like my afro picked out a little bit more than what it is right now. And he was like, if I say, if I say, well, he didn't call me Ace because again, he doesn't know me as Ace. He knows me as, something different. But he's like, you know what? You remind me of this one YouTuber I watched. And it's like, who's that YouTuber? He's like, Corey Kenshin. I'm like, I will take that as a compliment. Because again, like I said, and mind you, these are again kids. These is kids of the next generation, and I'm like, dang, bro, people like y'all still watching Corey Kenshin, and but like he was been a thing since I was a kid. That's the type of last, and again, he's a really solid kid too. Like, shout out to you, bro. Must say, I don't know if you'll ever come across this video, but like you know who I'm talking about if you ever do. But all of that being said, Corey Kenshin's impact doing content is multi-generational. I want to be able to have that same positive multi-generational impact with the House of Cards. And just putting myself in that situation, speaking to this said person, unfortunately, she distracted me from that. And, doing so, it just kind of like, killed, I want to say, let's say killed the creativity, but just again, it kind of like, I had to sit down and be like, dang, I really, like, again, this could have been something great, but in turn, I let this feeling deter me from my goals, which I bring this to y'all, House of Cards. Surround yourself with people who will elevate you in terms of your goals, in terms of, your mental state, physical state, emotional state, which is why this is another reason why I appreciate y'all a lot, being able to just be relatively vulnerable with y'all in the Discord, letting y'all know, hey, I've been going through some stuff. I appreciate, the messages y'all dropped in afterwards, like, and I just genuinely thank y'all for, again, like I said, it's a small community, but it's a growing community. But I want to be able to gather up all of these positive people till we can uplift each other. The same way y'all made me feel in that specific time of need when I let y'all know, everything ain't going that great, is the same feeling I want others to feel, and we're able to uplift each other. That's another reason why, I do the motivational Marvel Rivals Mondays, my MMRMs, because especially in as toxic as a game as Marvel Rivals, bro, you need somebody that'll give you that little bit of uplifting. And I choose to do that in a sense, well, not in a sense, but in a space where, unfortunately, bringing out the toxicity in people is what people enjoy to see. And there isn't that much positivity in that space. And it's unfortunate to say, I'm going to be honest with y'all. The motivational Marvel Rivals Mondays, in terms of viewership on all my platforms, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and, TikTok, those don't really do the best. But I still put them out there anyway because I know somebody out there would look at the video and would appreciate, as I say at the end of the video, they would appreciate the little bit of positivity amongst the toxicity. So that's why I still put those videos out there. And again, like I said, they may not do numbers, but I still do appreciate being able to put out a little bit of toxic. No, no, I do appreciate being able to put out a little bit of positivity amongst the toxicity. Oh man. But yeah, all of that's to say, I just can't thank y'all enough, House of Cards, for, standing with me, rocking with me, and all of this stuff. And again, this is a different type of video. Just, with the whole, updating about, what's going on with my life, both in and out of content creation. But I mean, I I hope this, shown a little bit of light to y'all in terms of, what's currently going on, just, what's going on in my life. And again, like I said, I can't be more grateful for y'all. Must say I gotta, first I got a couple of people to thank. First of all, I want to thank God above all else, especially going through this, trying time. I definitely did, a lot of praying, a lot of, reading scriptures and all of that stuff. But I say, I'm gonna let y'all know right now. Hey, if you don't, let me be the one to tell y'all. And again, I'm not finna try to force nothing on nobody. But if you need a little bit of guidance, y'all, bro, the Bible is something absolutely incredible. Like, it's, and I want to be able to do a better job at speaking, on this because, this is something that I personally believe in, and I want to be able to do a better job at letting other people know about the Lord because, again, He brought me through a whole lot, both positive and negative. But I say He was there with me at my highs, He was there with me at my lows, and I want to be able to just, tell y'all and a bunch of other people about somebody who can save everybody, you know? But again, like I said, I just, I got to thank God first and foremost for bringing me, through this, learning period. I want to go ahead and, again, like I said, I want to thank y'all again, the House of Cards. I want to give a shout out to, like, whew, I just had to take a breath because, you know, I ain't never really just sat down and talked to the camera like that. I wonder if I'm gonna put like background music over this. I'm not gonna put no background music over this. This is just gonna be nothing but me talking to y'all. And again, like I said, this is just gonna be me talking to y'all. Again, I hope y'all rock with it though. But I mean, I really don't got much else to say. I just wanted to, give y'all, just a little update with what's currently going on in the life of Ace of Abes. And yeah, I appreciate y'all, for watching. I still appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I'm not even gonna edit this, honestly. This is just gonna be a long video. All of the, me pausing to think. Y'all are just gonna see all of that. So, like, like I said, I hope y'all appreciate it. This is just gonna be again raw, uncut, just straight up Ace of Abes, just talking to the House of Cards. And again, like I said, I hope y'all appreciate that. But that's it from me. Again, I love y'all. But I say I'm gonna see y'all. This week we getting back to the streams. And yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. I'm gonna see y'all next time. Peace.